Stand-up paddleboarding is the most popular outdoor activity in the U.S. More than 2.7 million people are getting on board and making fun memories on the water. Paddleboarding has wide appeal because people at every skill level can do it. Born out of the surf culture of Hawaii, stand-up paddleboards, commonly called SUPs, are wider and more stable, making it relatively easy to ride and maneuver in most water conditions. This popular water sport is also a great way to take your fitness to the next level, whether you're casually paddling, wave riding, practicing yoga, or even fishing. Paddleboards are also a great way to enjoy a new activity on the water for a fraction of the cost of a sailboat or powerboat. Plus, they are an environmentally friendly option for exploring waterways with the whole family. Very little skill is needed to get started on an SUP. However, it is important to first be comfortable with being on the water and with the possibility that you might fall a few times. Beginners should start on calm waters and master being able to launch from a shore or dock with ease. If you're launching from the shore, make sure to place your board in enough water to clear your fins and prevent damage. The same goes for beaching your board. Start on your knees to establish balance. Once you stand, continue to lightly bend your knees and keep a straight back for a sturdy stance. Avoid swaying side to side. Next, paddle with a pole stroke, making sure to position the paddle with the canted power face forward for correct placement in the water. To paddle straight, you must paddle on both sides of the board with the shaft perpendicular to the water and not at an angle, which will turn your board. Good paddle form involves maintaining a strong core while pulling the blade face through the water on one side and pushing the paddle through the air on the other side. A proper paddle hold has your hands in an A shape with your dominant hand holding the T grip. The faster you go, the more stable you will be, even in choppy waters. If waves approach, bend to brace, and remember you can use your paddle or go to your knees for extra balance. Now let's discuss what equipment you need. Just a few basic pieces of equipment are needed to get started on an SUP adventure. Once you've purchased your board, you'll need to find the right paddle. Read our article on selecting an SUP paddle. Next, consider clothing like a wetsuit if you're paddling in cold water conditions to prevent hypothermia in case you end up in the water. Plan on wearing sun protective clothing if you're paddling in warm weather. Read our article on understanding sun protection. Preparation is key to a successful paddling session. Use this checklist to make sure you have everything you need to enjoy the adventure. Let's talk about paddling safety. Make sure you check your equipment for any tears, holes, or defects before hitting the water. It's important to note that there are two types of leashes for paddleboards, straight and coiled. If you're wave riding, use a straight leash to avoid having the board bounce back and hit you if you fall off your board. Use a coiled leash for paddling in calm waters to prevent drag or snagging items like kelp. Paddling can be a solo or group activity, but for beginners, we recommend you go with a buddy. If you're going to head out solo, it's wise to let someone know your location and time frame for being on the water. It's also a good rule of thumb to get a weather and surf report before hitting the water and to keep an eye out for changes in the weather. If a storm creeps up, seek shelter immediately. Each state and region has different rules when it comes to interacting with wildlife. Some may be protected, so make sure you know the guidelines for how close you can get to creatures. Lastly, be aware of your surroundings and avoid objects that could snag or flip your SUP. With a few simple precautions, your paddleboarding adventure will be one to remember. Do you enjoy paddleboarding? Share your story with us in the comments section below, and thanks for watching.